Hey guys, Chingers is back here with another POE video, which I know you all loved and were eagerly awaiting. It's been about a week into the league here, so we're gonna do a quick update on how the build's going, tips for anyone who's trying to play it, just how it felt and how it feels this league. They didn't change much, but there are a couple things that you should know if you're gonna go with this build. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, so we leveled his Wyvern through campaign to like mid maps. Pretty slow campaign. We had like a 7-hour campaign or something like that. Interacting with the league mechanic a bunch, so that'll happen. But it could be better. Didn't get too good gear, but it's fine. You could just stay Wyvern too the whole game if you wanted. Wyvern's really good. But I wanted to try out Bear, so we're playing Bear. We swapped to Rampage. Tooltip DPS is at like 20k in Hideout without Rage. Then if we stack up Rage, DK. So doing some good damage here, and it definitely blasts through maps. We got the Herald of Ice deck going with Orc, whatever you call it. So I'll do a quick map here to demo how our build's going. And then yeah, we'll talk about some tips and tricks, basically. I've been running Ritual to get most of my money, and it's going okay. I haven't gotten a Whittle in like 2 days though, so it feels bad. But I got a bunch when I first started, so I guess it evens out. So yeah, you'll notice we aren't running the Rage node. I'll talk about that later, like the regen Rage node. But honestly, it feels like a little better to not run that. So yeah, running fully like, I don't say fully juiced, but like 6 mod, whatever you want. I don't remember full modded maps. So I haven't really died in since I like, did some defensive updates. I haven't died in like like a day or two. So we're super tanky. The damage is really good. Uh, Single target damage is whatever. It's like okay. It's not too bad in the ritual because you can see like we get the explosions in AoE. I just take that huge hit. So we are a tanky, chonky boy, but this guy keeps getting freaking what do you call it? Possessed and getting his health back. Yeah, so when we have our walking calamity on, we actually do a lot of damage. Like 70k tooltip. So yeah. Rampage is a little weird to do bosses with if the environment isn't helping you out. Like there's a tree that I had to keep going around there. Saw that. I also need to update. I'll do is a ton of crap dropping. But yeah, I'll look through these quick. League mechanic. Really think that's good. The rage generation is pretty chill. You just cast your shout like twice, and then your calamity's going. Then you cast your whatever you call that lunar assault once or twice. You'll get your buffs. And then yeah, you just kind of explode the whole screen. Hold down one button. It's pretty nice. And we are super tanky. We're running Defiance of Destiny. It basically solves our defense for us. Really easy way to do that if you're a life stacker or just a life armor character, really. But yeah, everything just blows up. The only thing you have to avoid on a map is elemental ailment threshold, because that will kind of ruin your pops. And you, right now at least, I'm running Embitter support when I'm mapping. I do a gem swap for the boss, which I'll show you later. Just because it makes the pops a lot more consistent. If you don't have it, you can still get them. You just need more cold damage on your gear, like flat cold. Which I have some, but it's kind of hard to get when you're running Porcelain, whatever you want to call it, Porcelain. But yeah, so Ritual's like, honestly, any of the League mechanics, Ritual or Breach or Abyss would be good for Bear. So anything with high density. I think Simulacra mobs are more resistant to freeze, if I remember that correctly. I could just be pulling that on my ass though. But so I did like Simulacrum questline. It's kind of rippy, so I stopped doing that in the beginning. Yeah, so I'll go over some of the gear once we get back. This might take a minute because I'm doing the boss ritual, I forgot. Yeah, anything good? Nope. Never lucky. Don't get me into casino. Yeah, ritual's pretty fun. I like since they fixed the boss, it's been good. but the pinnacle ritual boss is anti-melee for the first phase. They hate melee in this game. What you gonna do? So yeah, I mean the gameplay's super chill. I'm just holding down Rampage, and you stop when you run out of rage, or you need to get your buffs back. Also hate that temp chain's still in the game, because then you have to do this. We don't really have a curse cleanse. But yeah, super chill. I'd say my budget right now is like 50 div invested into this character. I'll explain why. You definitely don't need 50 div to get this going. It's just you need pretty basic. Like you don't really. There's no really requirements to get this bear build going. You can league start this and really good results. So, oh shoot, I have 10 rerolls. Wants to watch me not get anything good. What is this? Shavs. I'll defer a Shavs. Give me Mega Blood. Alright, whatever. Yeah, we're also not high enough map level yet to get, I think you need eye level, monster level 81 maps to get the other omens, like the chaos ones, not little. Or I don't remember what it does. It's like the prefix and suffix ones. Chaos orbing. But you can still get whittles, which are worth a good amount. And if you're fighting King in the Mist, you get a good amount of money from that. From the unID'd from nothings are worth like 8 div last time I checked, so definitely worth. I think Ritual's fun, so if you like gambling, go for it. But I still think Abyss is probably the best strat or most consistent. But we'll see. They just nerfed it, so we'll see. Alright, here's the boss. We'll just do it while we're here. So yeah, I have a close combat, and I just swap it for Embitter. I'll usually keep. Honestly, I could have kept Embitter in if the boss is weak to cold. It's not that much of a problem. So you can see the boss damage is actually pretty decent if you can like circle them. Otherwise, it can be really annoying if you aren't able to just circle them. Also see, I think this is the juiced ritual. It's kind of funny. So get all our buffs up, and then I think the bosses start spawning on this one. But yeah, you can see we haven't really come close to dying. The only thing that will murder you in the beginning of the game is chaos damage. Like I tried to do breach at the beginning, and like the rare mobs in breach that spawn at the end of it do a ton of chaos damage, I guess. I was just getting one shot by those, but now I'm chaos res captain, and it doesn't really matter anymore. Yeah, see, we got 2 bosses spawned. I think. Yep. I'll see how many actually spawn. Also, you need to be careful of the monkey spawning in your ritual, because that shit always one-shots me. I can't see what the hell's going on. Yeah, not the greatest visual clarity for a build, but that's not why we play POE. Okay, I guess only 2 bosses spawned. My last map had like 5. Might be in the last ritual. Yeah, if I don't feel like doing Rampage, I just Furious Slam. If I don't want to spend all, like, if I'm not gonna get the whole channel. Bad. Nothing. That's fine. No. 4x. Okay. Yeah, we got it. Classic. Alright. Yeah, I usually don't defer them if they're not worth more than like 10x. Because I just think like I could just go buy that for 4x and not worth spending a bunch of maps re-rolling it. I'm probably not gonna do the last ritual, even though I could buy that Shavs. because. All right, so yeah, we'll talk about the build here. So go over the gear and kind of the price of everything. This, I'll go over the talisman last. This I picked up off the ground and crafted. It's kind of a crazy helm. This was before I realized that Runic Ward takes away your defense after a certain item level. So we could have like a 1k armor helmet. But we corrupted Spirit onto here. We have two OK reses, T5, T3, and then we have T3, T3, T2, T3, T4 defenses. And then armor applies to Ellie. So this is a super solid helmet. I'm not sure what it would go for right now. Let's see. Save me. Okay. Yeah, so there's like not even anything like it on the market. It's probably a couple div, which be like did this. Yeah, there's not a whole lot. So, but I mean, I picked it up. You don't need spirit on your helmet at all, really. I think I have extra spirit at 15. You just need a slightly better scepter if you don't have spirit anywhere else. We're running Defiance of Destiny. This solves your defenses basically, the recover missing life or being hit by an enemy. Then the big max life roll, 10% there. This was, I think, a couple div day one, but now they're like 40x or something. Let's check. Let's not do this. Let's do, if we search up one, 10x, yeah, the max life, 50 exalt, yeah. You can get a like an okay max life roll for like 10x, and then a slightly better max life roll. We'll run you like 50x. We have just a flat cold ring of life, and then man is the dead stat for us. Triple res or double res, and end for to help solve our stats. We have 5 div ring. Yeah, I bought it for around 5 div. Pork is like couple X. Boots were a couple div, I think. Let's see. Don't need that. Yeah, I think I did buy these for around 3 div. Belt I also crafted myself. Super nice. Triple T1 suffix, T1 life, armor, and a good res. And I bought these were like 25 div, I think, at the time when I bought them. Yeah, because they have double, let's see, T1 fizz, T5 flat, T1 armor, level of all melee skills, armor applies to Ellie, and cold res, so really good stats. Probably keep these for the rest of the game. And this is where it gets, and then we'll talk about this. So Warrior Invictus is really good for tank, really, if you have Chaos Res and Max Life in the sockets. Third one would ideally be like Ellie Res or just increased armor and evasion stuff. But that's more expensive. And this was like 4 div when I bought it. It's probably cheaper now. 9 divine, but I also, let's do like 50 here. Yeah, so like 1 div, I corrupted it to overroll the max life roll, which I wasn't expecting. So this is going to be way more expensive, but yeah. So you just want chaos res and life in here, and then socket in chaos soul, or max life soul cores and chaos until you cap it. You'll be almost capped. Yeah, so it's not that much, not that expensive, but yeah, it's just life soul cores in there, big life. So if I take it off, it's like 500 life. So big there. And this is where it gets annoying because these are kind of annoying to craft this league. So to get the pops going on the armor explosion and Herald of Ice, you need this gain as extra fizz. That allows your Herald of Ice to do, or your armor explosion and Herald of Ice to do physical damage, to break armor, and to chain. So, oops, you need that because this will, yeah, convert all of it to cold. It won't break armor basically until you have the extra fizz. And it's just standard Herald Chain setup, and then we have Heft to help break armor more. So that's the annoying part, is you have to get this mod. The way I crafted it is I bought the base with T2 fizz on it, not even T1 for like 4 div. If we go to the market right now, pull up a trade quick. Yeah, so we're going to trade. I'm gonna show you what the bases are like. So I was searching up some gloves, but if you look at a Magi Talisman, because that's the base you want, Search. I think the breakpoint for T2 Fizz is 155. Search up. Increased physical damage. 55. We'll see how much these cost right now. Make it magic. The 5 div, this is more expensive when I bought it. I sniped mine for 3 div. If you set up a live search, so just click live search here. You can see them as they pop up, and you can maybe snipe one for a couple, like 4 div when someone wants to insta sell it. Because not many people are buying talisman. Look, 1 hour ago, 12 hours ago, 13 hours ago. These aren't really selling too fast. So I'd keep an eye on them. People probably start dropping their price, or you can see when just live search and see until someone buys another one. So to craft this, you have to. We'll just pull up a base as if I had one, correct one. So if this was T1 Fizz, I'm not gonna actually spend my currency because that's dumb. This is the best way I could think of to do it. You transog. This would be your Fizz roll, and then you have to just regal and pray for a suffix. So we hit a suffix, kind of 50-50, which is super sketch. I'm sure there's a better way to do that, but I couldn't think of one at the time. And then if you hit the suffix, then you perfect essence of abrasion with the only remove suffix. What is that one? Textual crystallization. This will guarantee you remove one of your suffixes, so your prefix is safe. And then you'll have percent fizz, and gain is extra on your fizz, or gain is extra fizz. Those are your 2 prefixes. Then this is where it gets expensive. If that wasn't already expensive for you. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna prefix not this one, the prefix omen, I think that's Sinistral Necromancy, and Ancient Jawbone if you can afford it. It's way more likely to get a good fizz roll. And then that will be a desecrated prefix. And then you have to go unveil I think I got T2 Fizz on this. You have to unveil T2 Fizz, which is, I think, weighted similarly to the other elemental damages. That's Biss is Fizz, but if you get a really high elemental roll, I just take that too. That could be fine. Especially cold damage would be really helpful. But I really wanted Fizz because this was the talisman. I think I sold it. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, so this is my talisman I was upgrading from. So you can see, like, if I didn't take Fizz, or if I didn't have extra Fizz, it'd be a downgrade pretty much. But the only thing it would give me would be the Herald of Ice Pops, which would actually maybe be worth it, but I'd lose a lot of single target. So I was really going for T2 or for added Fizz. And this took me like, I'm gonna be honest, like 6-ish rolls, between 6 and 8 rolls of, I think it was like, yeah, it was 5 or 6. Now it wasn't that much, but it was like 5 or 6 rounds of desecrating. Then I'd fail at Omen of Light and Null, buy another Jawbone, Omen of Light and Null, buy another Jawbone, Omen of Light and Null, and each time I did that, I would be using an Echoes too. So it's probably actually like 10 rolls I was seeing, and I didn't see it Fizz a single time until I got the T2. So you can get really unlucky like me, and it will cost you, let's see, so I have a Divine Orb, so if you are buying things in divs, let's see, Omen of Light prices right now, 5. Jeez, there were 1 when I was buying it. Ancient Jawbone, 5, not too bad, considering last league. And Echoes, I think, is like 1 div, 0.4. Yeah, so it's like 11 div a try if you're using Echoes, which you should be if you're using a Jawbone. If you don't want to do that much and you're okay with settling after you get the whatever add extra fizz, you can do a regular Jawbone, but I would still Echoes so you're guaranteed almost to get something useful at least. But if you're like, if you just need a talisman to get you going, I would do that. Don't use the Ancient if it's too much money. But if you're like going for a decent talisman, a pretty good one, I would definitely go there so you can get it. So when you do roll Fizz, it'll be like a guaranteed decent roll and you can take it. So you don't just go on an unlucky streak with me, because this cost me like 30, 40, between 30 and 40 div of just rolling this. Just stupid. So that's that. A couple other things, quick. They did nerf unintentionally this node here. No inherent loss of rage. Regenerate 6 for rage. That's really good for us. Increases reduction to mana regeneration rate, also apply to rage. That's really good for us. This line here, skills has +5 to rage cost, bricks us with the new update here. So if we look at Maul, it now says 0 mana cost. Before it didn't have mana cost. Well, now that it has a mana cost, the game sees that and it makes it cost rage. So now instead of generating 10 rage on hit, you generate 5 because you're generating 10 between these two, and then you cost 5 because I think that's the inherent cost. Yeah, so you took that, which you can take it early game and it's fine. Before you get Herald of Ice Chaining, I'll explain that. If you take it the early game, it's fine, can help with rage regen. But it's just worse for Maul because when I was testing this pre-league, I noticed something was wrong when I swapped, and I did notice it until I was doing Herald of Ice explosions. But this costs rage now, even though it doesn't cost mana. It technically has a mana cost, so now it has a rage cost. That's at 0 mana cost BS they're doing. But this also, Armor Explosion, now has a 0 mana cost. This means that it will cost 5 mana every time you trigger an Armor Explosion for 5 rage. So what that means is when you're running through a map, once you get this going and you hit a big pack, you lose all your rage because of that node. And then you have to regenerate it, and you can only rampage for like 3 seconds. So it just breaks the build, so you can't take this node anymore. So what I'm doing, you have a couple options. You can roll a Titan, which is really good, or a Smith would make you really tanky. A Titan will do more damage. You don't have to worry about any of this. Or Shaman's still really good. You get bonded stuff, you get the reactive growth or adaptations, make you really tanky, and you get 10 damage extra, which is good, and exposure. So Shaman's still fine, but I'd say it's more comparable to the other ones now, because you don't want to take this path, so you can't get like a ton more rage. The +7 rage is really good. But also, some Shamans weren't even taking this before, so I mean, Shaman's still fine to run. I'd consider Oracle more heavily now later in the game and run crit. I did a crit swap already and it feels pretty good, so I think running Oracle would feel good. And there's some good Walker of the Wilds nodes. But yeah, so the tree is basically nothing crazy. I was following Ronari's guide for a little bit, deviated a little bit. I want to screenshot my tree. This is my tree. Yeah, there's a lot of crit. This is a good cluster, rage stuff. Our Rake was helping me getting more consistent with the Herald chaining. I have this on a From Nothing, which I think is a waste of money, but whatever. It's saving me 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 nodes, so decent. And then on weapon set 2, we're using the same talisman on both the weapon sets. I don't know why I have this. We have skill effect duration just to make our buffs last longer. Weapon set 1 is just damage stuff, like crit stuff that I wouldn't take on weapon set 2. Part of the well, we have extra cold, which helps with the Herald pops. I think you kind of need this. And I just have a normal gem for the last one, somewhere right here. I think I have recover life on kill helps with tankiness. And then we're just running armor. Or this helps with rage generation. It helps Warcry has a minimum of 10 power. You can Warcry with nothing around like this and get half your rage. I don't know what that was. But yeah, so nothing crazy. I might try to do some Oracle recoup stuff because there's some decent recoup nodes around, but we'll see what happens. And then last note is, since you're not running that rage node anymore, you need to regen your rage somehow without mana regen. We use Furious Roar. Take out Infernal Cry. Don't use Infernal Cry in here. So if we look at Infernal Cry, it doesn't have an implicit rage generation on it. You do get a little extra damage with it, which was nice, but here it says gain 3 rage per enemy power and range. So if we have a minimum of 10 power, it's 30 rage. And then when we use Rage and Cry, it's 8 extra rage. So yeah, that's why we get 38 here. And then in Enraged War Cry, you'll gain more than you spend, so you can just spam it like this until you get all your rage. And then you can invest in War Cry speed to make it faster. But yeah, so that's the only 2 things would be that, and then don't take these nodes here. Take this node. Just to keep that in mind. Hopefully they change that, because I don't think that's intended. It seems like kind of a stupid intended thing. Or a stupid mechanic if it is intended. And a couple notes for when if you're just starting to use this build, you don't need this expensive gear. Just get high armor and resistance on everything, and armor is Ellie, applies to Ellie, and you'll be really tanky. Get one of these, you will not die ever. Don't take the scepter node until you can get a scepter with 148 spirit, or I can't remember the exact number. Ronnery has it on his guide, but until you can get a couple spirit to have 2 auras, basically. I have Berserk and Hero Device, which I think you should take. And you want to have one that has a purity on it, otherwise it's useless. And this will help you solve your res. I think we're gonna be stuck on Porcelain for a little Porcer Kiln for a little while, because I don't think we're gonna be freezing things by ourselves anytime soon. But we'll see. And you don't need a Warrior; it gives you a lot of life in Chaos Res. So I'll show you that I was rocking. I don't know if I sold it, to be honest. Oh nope, I was rocking this for a while. It's just fine. I just having Chaos Res troubles, so I swapped to Warrior. Helps a lot. I think that's the only thing. This charm helps a lot with Rage Regen. I'm using this charm and then a Freeze charm. I don't think. And then I have a Shrine Scepter with these runes in it. The bonded thing. 40% increased damage. Well, Shapeshift is a lot. The allies in your presence buff doesn't apply to you, so you're just looking for spirit and stats basically. And if you're running the bonded nodes, that's about it. I'm in like pretty much fully modded T2 maps, just not running, or T15 maps, not running the elemental whatever threshold, elemental element threshold. I was able to first try, or like second try after I remembered what he did, Arbiter of Ash, with a lot less gear, and with that other talisman I was using. And it took me one try to kill the quest version of Arbiter of Divinity and all the pinnacle bosses I first tried. So it's really, really tanky. You basically never die except from like degen zones with this. You have a ton of health. I have 81% armor, a lot of it applying to Ellie. So it's really tanky, really comfy. Once you get the chains going, it clears super fast, and boss damage is pretty good. So yeah, that's the update to the build. If you have any questions about other things I did in here, or if you're having struggles with your own pair build, let me know, and I'll see if I can help out. Otherwise, see you next time, guys. Bye.